Death looks for man, but can overlook those that stand in his way. We'll go to section 5 of chapter 33 of the Holy Quran, chapter 33 being Surah Al-Ahzab, the confederates that came together to fight Islam or to fight the Muslims. There were about 5 of them, like we mentioned before. And surprisingly, it includes the Jews and even the Arabs themselves, pagan Arabs themselves. What a surprising thing. Okay, it begins with sign 35 of section. Okay, I mentioned section 5 already. It begins with sign 35. Let's go. إن المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات والقانتين والقانتان والصادقين والصادقات والصابئين والصابرين والصابرات والخاشئين والخاشئات والمنا والمنا no والمن والمتصدقين والمتصدقين والمتصدقات والصائمين والصائمات والحافظين فروجهم وحافظين فروجهم وحافظون فروجهم والحافظين وذاكرين الله كثيرا والذاكرات أعد الله لهم معرفة وأجر عظيما. So these two things we have taken together refer to male and female. Let's go. Muslimina and Muslimati means Muslim men, Muslim women. Mominina wal mominati. Believing men and believing women. Kanitina wa kanitani. Kanitina wa kanitani. Devout men and devout women. Devout. Wasadikina wasadikati. Sadikina wasadikati. The men who are patient, the women who are patient. No. That's it. I think I missed something. Wasadikina wasadikati, yes. For men and women who are patient and constant. I think that should be Swabirina. Okay. Sadikina wa sadikati. Devout men and women, and that's Kanitina and Kanitani. Then Sadikina wa sadikati, true men and true women. Pardon me, I've gotten my bearing now. Sadikina wa sadikati, true men and true women. Now we go to Swabirina. Waswabirina waswabirati. Men who are patient and women who are patient. So Swabirina waswabirati. Men who are patient and women who are patient. Wal mutasadikina wahashirina wahashiati, wahashiina, washahashiati. Humble, men that are humble and women that are humble, or women here in the text it is men, for men and women who humble themselves. So uh, Hashi, Hashiina, men who humble themselves, and Hashii and Hashiati, women who humble themselves. Wal mutasadikina, wal mutasadikina. No, wal mutasadikina, wal mustasadikati, wal mutasadikina, wal mutasadikati. Uh, the men who give charity, sadaka, sadikina, or sadikati, and women who give sadaka. eh. If we omit the giving of sadaka, it is sadikuna or sadikati. Those who give sadaka or charity. Walhafizuna furujahum walhafizati. And men and women who guard their chastity. For men, it is fizuna furujahum, men who guard their chastity. For women, it is simply hafizati, women who guard their chastity. This is very important in religion. But do we guard our chastity? You just see Mary going on, and you eye her and eye her and eye her, and you tear her dress with your eyes. And go and tie her, just a tie, until you tear her dress with your eyes, and then tear her panties with your eyes. Oh my God, no good bacho. Okay, so these are hafizuna furujahum and hafizati. Wa wazakirina wazakirina no wazakirina Allahi kathiran wazakirati. Men and women who engage much in God's remembrance. In God's remembrance, and this is zakirina, to remember God. Zakirati for men, zakirina kathiran, those who remember God much, and zakirati, women who remember God much. Ada Allahu lahum maghfiratan wa ajran aziman. Ada Allahu lahum maghfiratan wa ajran aziman. For all these categories of men and women, for them has God prepared forgiveness and great reward. But little do we know. Some of us remember God only during prayers. And they call the Azan, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la. Then we run with water, and go and then prostrate and go back. When we go back, we go back to our normal talk. No, that's not the end. The Muslim, after praying, even before praying, while walking to the mosque, in the mosque, while returning from the mosque, the remembrance of God should be in your head all of the time. Even while talking with others, you remember God before talking. In fact, even before sleeping with your wife, you remember God before sleeping. Can I remember it? Well, Allahu. It's not coming now. Uh, Guard us from Satan and guard us from what you are about to give us. Jannibna ashaitan, wajibna jannibna mimma razaqtana. Pardon me, it may not be right words, the right words. You can ask your malams, they will tell you before you can come together with your wife. That is part of remembrance of God. Okay, they have their uh, forgiveness and reward from God. For them has God prepared forgiveness and remembrance. Let's see how many notes there are. Is we have 1 3718 19 20 Let's go to the first one. Muslim men and women, mu'minina wal mu'minati. Or it covers all of them anyway. 3717. Compare 22. Compare 22 and note 2844. God's understanding is perfect in every detail, however minute. Therefore, use his revelation for every phase of life. Oh, am I reading the right thing? No, 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 no. I'm reading the previous lesson, one that we've done before. Mm. The notes to sign 35 rather begins sign with 3718, 3718, 3719, 3720. So 3718. That's what I should have read, began with. Islam, or submitting our will to God's will, includes all the virtues as particularly specified in this verse. See note 3720. See note 3720. We're getting there. There's only one note in between this one and that. So now we go to sign 3719. 3719. What is it about? Giving of charity, zakat. mm, Zakirina, Zakirati. 3719. A number of Muslim virtues are specified here, but the chief stress is laid on the fact that these virtues are as necessary to women as to men. These virtues are as necessary to women as they are to men. So, and in some societies, in fact, some societies, I would say it, women give zakat more, they give charity more than men. Pardon me to say, I say in some societies, I've seen it with my colloquial eyes. And in fact, if you go into the markets, you go your rounds in the market, you see that there are people who are holding zakat like this, just looking for people who need it to give to them. You see beggars going around. In fact, some people have made it their business to go around markets and places to be begging, and they get it. Why? Because the Quran has ordained it. فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. Those who ask, do not drive them away. Then the orphans too, in the first place, do not neglect them. And so Muslims, you see Muslim men and women going around begging. They don't do any job. They eat from the Quran and they are given. The beggars go to the food sellers. They just sit there, stand there, staring at them. And the food seller has no alternative but than to call or wrap food and go and give to him. And he smiles away and go and munch. So, anyway, I've digressed enough. Let's see. A number of Muslim virtues are specified here, but the chief stress is laid on the fact that these virtues are as necessary to women as to men, both as men, full stop. Both sexes have spiritual as well as human rights and duties in an equal degree. And the future reward is in double inverted commas, and the future reward of the hereafter, the future reward of the hereafter, And that's forgiveness and great reward, as in the last uh, sentence. Okay, we now go to 3720, which we've been anticipating. 3720. 3720 against remembrance. Zakirin was Zakirati. 3720. The virtues referred to are one, faith, hope, and trust in God and in his benevolent government of the world. Semicolon. Then two, devotion and service in practical life. Then three, love and practice of truth in thoughts and intention, comma, word and deeds, thought and intention, word and deed. I love that. Then four, patience and constancy in suffering and in right endeavor. Then five, humility. Uh, Sha'irina, if I remember. Hashi'ina. Yeah, Hashi'ina. Then five, humility, the avoidance of an attitude of arrogance and superiority. Unfortunately, Muslims do not satisfy this number five. Mm. A number of Muslims are arrogant without knowing it, and feel superior to their neighbors, and it's not the right way. If you are Muslim, you are Muslim. You are equal to them. Mm. You avoid arrogance and superiority. Then we go to number six, charity. Yeah, charity, i.e., help to the poor and unfortunate ones in life, a special virtue arising out of the general duty of service. And this was done by the Prophet's wife, Zainab, and others. They were not playing with charity. That's why I say people are using the Quran to make a living instead of working. Mm. They don't work, they don't go around begging and looking for charity. If charity doesn't get to them, they will get to charity. Uh, all right. That's number six. General duty of service. Number two, that's number two. We are told to check number two. Number two, devotion and service in practical life. So number six here we are told is connected, charity. Is connected to number two. Then number seven, self-control, typically in food, but generally in all appetites. In food and all appetites. You know the appetite that this commentator is talking about. Hmm? Appetite of the trousers and the pants, in all appetites. Then eight, chastity, purity in sex. Okay, I think they are connected. Seven and eight are connected. Last part, appetite, is connected with point eight. Point eight, which is chastity, purity in sex life. Purity in sex life. That's what I meant by appetite in the trousers and the pants. Purity in sex life, purity in motive, thought, word, and deed. Then, number nine, constant attention to God's message and cultivation of the desire to get nearer to God. So, we've done sign 35 and its notes, three notes in all. Is it sign 35? Yes, sign 35 and three notes and on all. Let's now go to sign 36. وما كان لمؤمن ولا مؤمنة إذا قضى الله ورسوله إذا قضى الله ورسوله not رسوله إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمرا أن يكون لهم الخيرة أن يكون لهم الخيرة من أمرهم. It is not fitting For a believer, mu'minun, man or woman or mu'minat, a believer, man or woman, when a matter has been decided by God, is akada amara, is akada by God, when a matter is decided by God and His Messenger, is akada Allah wa Rasuluhu amaran, and His Messenger, to have any option about their decision. وما كان لمؤمن ومؤمنة إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمرا أن يكون لهم ال... أن يكون لهم الخيارة يكون لهم الخيارة من أمره. uh, uh, to have any option الخيارة, to have any option الخيارة option, to have any option about their decision. So when God and His messenger decree something, Muslim must follow it. There is no option. Min amarihi, of the, min amarihim, of their decision. Min amarihim, of their decision. وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهُ وَرَسُولَهُ. وَمَنْ يَعْصِ Allah, pardon, here is Allah, مفعول به. وَمَنْ يَعْصِ Allah wa Rasulahu fakat dalla dalalan mubinan. If anyone disobeys, Yasi, if anyone disobeys God and His Messenger, he is indeed on a clearly wrong path. Fakat dalla dalalan mubinan, clearly wrong path. Dalalan mubin. The note to read is 3721. 3721. Against Amarillahi wa Rasuluhu, about their decision. 3721. 3721. We must not put our own wisdom in competition with God's wisdom. Full stop. God's decree is often known to us by the logic of facts and must not be questioned, and therefore must not be questioned. My own words. By the logic of facts, full stop. We must accept it loyally and do the best we can to help in our own way to carry it out. Full stop. We must make our will constant to God's will. We must make our will constant to God's will. And indeed, Muslims around the world follow it. When God and His Messenger decree that we must pray 5 times a day, we must do it, and we do it without questioning. No option to read. Al-Hiratu. Al-Hiratu. No question, no option to read. All right. And that's note 3721 to sign 36. Let's now go to sign 37. What is that? What is تقول الذي وإذ تقول للذي أنعم الله عليه وأنعمت عليه امسك عليك امسك إليك زوجك واتق الله وتخفي في نفسك ما الله مبديه touch. Oh, it's long. I think I should break it into two. وإذ تقول الذين أنعمت الله عليه. Let's read there. Behold, thou didst say to one who had received the grace of God and thy favor, Allah alayhi wa an ma'at alayhi wa an ma'at alayhi, the favor of God and thy favor, the grace of God, anmata alayhi, amnata Allah, the favor of God and thy favor, wa an amta alayhi, and amta here is God, and you is Muhammad, you God. God is talking to Muhammad, and you God, those who get God's grace, and you your favor, you Muhammad your favor. Imsaka alayka zawjika. You said to search people. Amsika, you said to search people. Amsika alayka zawjika. Retain thou your wife. Retain thou thy wife. So God is saying to one, Muhammad is saying to one, retain thy wife. Or into brackets, retain thou in wedlock, in brackets, retain thou in wedlock thy wife. Amsaka alayka zawjika, waitaka watafi fi nafsika ma Allahu mubdiyahi, ma Allahu mubdiyahi. Let me go back a bit. Retain thou in wedlock thy wife, and fear God. Waitaka Allah, and fear God. Peshu watafi fi nafsika ma Allahu mubdihi, and fear God, but thou did hide it in thy heart. God is talking to Muhammad. Watafi fi nafsiki, you hid it in your heart. Where is it? Tofi is not tafi. Watofi fi nafsika. Uh, Didst thou hide in thy heart, nafsika? Heart, nafsika is interpreted as heart. Wa ifsi fi nafsika. That which God was about to manifest. That which God was about to manifest. Fi nafsika. Ma Allahu mubdiyahi. What God was about to manifest. Allah mudiyahi. Watasha annas, and you feared men. And you feared men. Wallahu ahkam. Wallahu ahkam an tashahu. Wallahu ahkam an tashahu. Wallahu ahkam an tashahu. Wallahu ahkam an tashahu. Pardon me, I'm not used to reading Arabic all of the time, so pardon me. You see, I'm scratching my forehead. All right. But Tashakan, Tashau, where is the English side of it? That which God was about to make manifest. Thou didst fear the people. You fear Anasa. Thou didst fear the people, but it is more fitting that thou shouldest fear God. Thou should fear God. Where is it in the Arabic side? Let's see. Watasha Anas. Yeah, you feared God. Watasha Allahu. Watasha Anas. Anasa. You feared God. Wallahu Ahaka Tashahu. It is rather God. But it is more fitting that thou shouldst fear God. It's more fitting that God that thou does fear God. Ahaka and thou shalt Hasa. Ahaka here is more fitting. It's not true. Ahaka here is more fitting to fear God. That God should that thou shouldst fear. So here, God is addressing Muhammad. You see the truth. You've seen the truth from me, but you hide it and you tell the people because of fear of the people. It is I, God, rather, that you, Muhammad, should fear. Haka anta shahu. Fitting is more fitting that you should fear me. فلما كدا فلما كدا زيد منها wataran. Wataran. Uh, then, when Zaid had dissolved his marriage, Zaid is his marriage is in double is in commas. His marriage is in brackets. Then, when Zaid had destroyed, that's his marriage with her. Zaid is the man. I think. Uh, Maybe a slave of God or so. Okay, let me not speculate. But Zayd is the man. When Zaydun in Arabic, when Zayd had dissolved his marriage with her, that's with her wife, Zawjaka. When Zayd dissolved his wife with her, we joined her in marriage to thee. We joined her in marriage to thee. زوج where is it فلما كدا زيدا منها وترا زوجك وترا زوجناك زوجناكها وترا زنوجا وترا زوجناكها لكي لا يكون على مؤمنين حرج ولا يكون على المؤمنين حرج في الأزواج. Oh, it's long. Let me see if I can break it. زوجها لكي لا يكون على المؤمنين حرج في الأزواج في الأزواج في الأزواج أد أد إياه أد إياهم إذا كدا منهن وترا. Thou didst fear. I'll go back a bit, viewers, so bear with me. Go back a bit with me. But it is more fitting that men should fear God. Then, when Zaid had destroyed his marriage with her, well, that's with his wife, Tarran, Tarran destroyed his marriage with her, we joined her in marriage to thee. زوجها زوجناكها. We joined her in marriage. Oh, where's the English side? Yes, we joined her in marriage to thee. كي لكي لا يكون على مؤمنين حرج لكي لا يكون على مؤمنين حرج. In order that there may be no difficulty, harajin, to the believers mm, in the matter of marriage with the wives of their adopted sons. So, Zayd apparently is the adopted son of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's how I see it. Viewers, pardon me if that's not the case, but that's how I see it. We have brackets there that I have to uh, talk about. In order that there may be no difficulty, we have brackets there. In order that in future, so this the example here concerning Muhammad is for mankind, for the future. In future, we know what to do when our adopted son's wife is divorced. We can marry them, in other words. So, in future, there may be no difficulty to the believers in the matter of marriage. So, the matter of is in brackets, in marriage without the brackets, to the believers in marriage with the wives of their adopted sons. That's why I say adopted son here is referring to Zayd. That's the adopted son of Zayd. Apparently, Zayd wanted to dissolve the marriage between him and his wife. And Muhammad saw it, that was the right thing. But then he advised against it. He advised against it. But then it happened because God had ordained it. And then God made Muhammad to marry that uh, wife of the adopted son. Of course, because he doesn't want, he just married her for convenience. You leave her. What is she going to do? So God ordered Muhammad to marry her. That's my understanding of it. Uh, so, in, uh, in order that in future there may be no difficulty to the believers in the matter of marriage with wives of their adopted son. So from then on, if your adopted son abandons his wife, you are right. You have the right to marry her. That's how I understand it. Pardon me if that's not the case. Uh, when the latter have dissolved their marriage with them, yes. And God's command must be fulfilled. Wakana amar Allahi maf'ulan. Wakana amar Allahi maf'ulan. And God's command must be fulfilled. Let's go to the next sign, which is 38. No, 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 no. We haven't done the notes yet. We haven't done the notes yet. I don't know if we did. No, no, no. We haven't done the notes yet. And there are how many? 3722, 3723, 3724, 3. Then 2526, 5. Mm, and 5. So 5 notes. Let's go to the first one. The first one is 37. Oh, yes, the first one is 3722. 3722. If we do 3721, 3721 is sign 36. Pardon me, viewers. I don't know if I've done it, so let's do it again, even if it's a repetition. 3721. We must not put our own wisdom in competition with God's wisdom. God's decree is often known to us by the logic of facts. Oh, we've done it. Pardon me. So we now go to the next note, which is 3722 to sign 30. 7 to sign 37, 3722, which is against the grace of God. Okay. This was Zaid. This was Zaid, son of Haritha. This was Zaid, son of Haritha. This was Zaid or Zaidu, son of Haritha, one of one of the first to accept faith of Islam. He was a freedom. So he was a freedman of the holy prophet. He was a freedman of the holy prophet who loved him as a son and gave him in marriage and gave him in marriage his own cousin Zainab and gave him in marriage his own cousin Zainab. The marriage, however, turned out to be unhappy. See next note. We're going there. We are going right away there. 3723. See next note. 3723. Next note. Zaid's marriage with the prophet's cousin, uh, uh, with the prophet's cousin Zainab, daughter of Hash. Oh my God. Daughter of Josh. So daughter of Josh, did not turn out happy. So the marriage of of Zaid to Zainab mm, did not turn out happy. Zaid, who is the father? Zaid of who? Zaid being what? Zaid, son of Harith, to the his marriage to the Zainab, son of Josh. Josh did not turn out happy. Did not turn out happy. Zainab, the highborn is hyphenated. Zainab, the highborn, looked down upon Zaid. Oh my God, eh, the prophet's son, cousin, whom generally they used to call son. So Zaid, the highborn, looked down upon Zaid, the freedman who had been a slave. So you see, he was a slave freedman, and therefore the wife did not respect him. Me, highborn person, you a slave? No, we can't stay together. So you see, uh, difficulties in marriage did not stand today. Did not start today. They have been there. They have been there. Sorry, difficulties in marriage have been there, even 1,400 years and before, mm, to teach us a lesson. Mm. So let me continue. Upon Zaid, the free man who had been a slave, full stop. And he was not calmly, and he was not calmly to look at it. And he was not calmly to look at it. Calmly is spelled Comely. And he was not calmly to look at it. Both were good people in their own way, and both loved the prophet. But there was mutual incompatibility, and this is fatal to marry, and this is fatal to married life, and this is fatal to married life, full stop. Zaid wished to divorce her, but the prophet asked him to hold his hand and be obeyed, to hold his hand and be obeyed. So, in other words, the prophet advised against this. He asked Zaid to hold his hand and be obeyed, full stop. She was closely related to the prophet. Zainab. We are told that I think that's the cousin also. Please go back and check me. My memory is getting bad. So Zaid wished to divorce her, but the prophet asked him to hold his hand. Uh, and he obeyed. She was closely related to the prophet, semicolon. He had given a handsome marriage gift. He has given a handsome marriage gift on her marriage to Zaid, semicolon. And people would certainly talk of and people will certainly talk if such a marriage was broken off. So you see why Muhammad was against the divorce, even though he saw it coming. He advised against it, against the revelation of God to him that it will happen. Okay. Such a marriage was broken off, full stop. But marriages are made on earth, not in heaven, and it is no part of God's plan to torture people in a bond which should be a source of happiness, but actually is a source of misery. Full stop. Zaid's wish indeed is hyphenated. So Zaid wish indeed. No, I think it's dash. Zaid's wish dash, not hyphenated. Zaid's wish dash. The mutual wish of the couple dash was for the time being put away, but it became eventually an established fact, and everybody came to know of it. Everybody came to know of the fact that Zaid's marriage to Zainab was an incompatible one. Full stop. And that's all for note 3723. Let's now go to the next note. The third one, I suppose, 3724. 3724. Hmm. Uh, when God is saying it is fitting to fear God rather, Ahaka, Eshaw, Allahu. 3724. All actual facts are referred to God, full stop. When a marriage is unhappy, comma, Islam permits the bond to be dissolved, provided that all interests concerned are safeguarded. Apparently, there was no issue here to be considered, full stop. Zainab had to be considered, and she obtained the dearest wish of her heart in being raised to be a mother of the believers with all the dignity and responsibility of that position, full stop. See note 3706 to sign 3330. We've gone past it. See note 3702. See note 3702 to chapter 33, sign 28 above. Sign 28 above. We've gone past it. So that's all for 3724. We now go to the next note, I think third of it, 3725. 3725. Then when Zaid has dissolved his marriage with her, 3725, the idat or period of waiting after divorce, into brackets, chapter 2, sign 228, and note 3 and note 254 and note 254 was duly completed. So the idat was completed. 3726 is the next note. 3726. To the believers, there may be no difficulty to the believers in the matter of marriage with their wives of their adopted son. 3726. That's where we're going to. 3726. The pagan superstition and taboo about adopted sons had to be destroyed. See chapter 33, 4 to 5. See chapter 33, signs 4 to 5, and notes 36, 71 to 36, 72. 36, 71 and 36, 72. I think we're yet to get there. No? Yes, these notes, we haven't gotten there yet. 30, no, we've gone past it. It's 36 and we're on 37. So see chapter 33, signs 4 to 5, and notes 3671 and 3672 above. And that's all for note 3726. to sign 37. Let's now go to the next note, which is 3737 3727 3727. I don't know if that's the fourth note also, but anyway, let's go 3727 3727. God has indicated to him as a duty, mm, the prophet in what God has indicated to him as a duty. 3727. Note 3727. We are asked to go to note 3724. 3724, which we've read already. Mm, the previous or the two notes before. That all actual facts are referred to God. We are asked to go there. Viewers, we can do that in our leisure time. We now go to the next note, which is 3728. 3728, uh, uh, amongst those of old that have passed. Let's see. Uh, the practice approved, approved in brackets, the practice approved of God among those of old that have passed. That's where we are going. 3728. 3728. The next clause is parenthetical, full stop. These words then connect on with verse 39 among the people of the book. With verse 39, full stop. With verse 39, full stop. Among the people of the book, there was no taboo about adopted sons, as there was in pagan Arabs, as there was in pagan Arabia. So the Jews didn't know any taboos uh, concerning adopted sons and their marriages. The Arabs did have such taboos. Mm. Let's go to the next note, 3729. 3729. The command of God is a decree determined. Wakana amarillahi makduran. 3729. God's ordering of the world is always full of wisdom. Full stop. Even our unhappiness and misery may actually have a great meaning for ourselves or others or both. That's wonderful. When you are happy, you are sad. It may have some meaning for others. They will giggle, laugh, look at you, but God will let them regret laughing or laughing at you later. So, God's ordering of the world is always full of wisdom. Even our unhappiness or misery may actually have a great meaning for ourselves or others or both. Full stop. If our first plan seems to fail, we must not murmur. We must not murmur and repine, but retrieve the position by adopting a course which appears to be the best possible in the light of our duties as indicated by God. Mm. So God, because why? Because God's command must be obeyed. Wakana amarillahi kad. Wakana amarillahi kadaran makduran. Kana amarillahi kadaran makduran. And the command of God is a decree determined. Okay, because of that, for God's plan For God's plan is framed on universal principles that cannot be altered by human action. Mhm. Okay, and that's note 3729, the last note to sign 38. How many were there? Did I count it? How many notes are there? Well, unimportant, but I will do it all the same. Uh, 1, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Oh, 8 notes. Well, I hope we've digested all of them. Let's go now to the next sign, which is sign 39. Mhm. Allazina yubalguna risalatillahi. Allazina yubalguna risalatillahi. Allazina yubalguna risalatillahi. It starts with brackets. It is the practice of those, without the brackets, it reads, who preach. So it is the practice of those who preach the messages of God. Preach. Yep. Laguna. Preach. Message. Risalati. It is the message of those who preach the messages of God, not messages, who preach the messages of God. Risalati Lahi. Wayashawnahu, and fear him. Yashunahum wala yashuna ahadan illa Allah. And fear him and fear none but God. La yashuna ahadan illa Allah. And fear none but God. Wakafa billahi hasiban. Wakafa billahi hasiban. And enough, kafa, and enough is God to call to account. We have men there in brackets to call men to accounts. Sign 3730. No, 3730. Calling to account. Calling to account 3730. 3730. Our responsibility is to God, not to man. Man's opinions may have a bearing on our own interpretation of duty. But when that duty is clear, our only course, our only course is to obey God rather than men. Here, in the case concerning Zaid and the wife, high priest or high something woman, Zainab, and the wife Zainab, and Zaid the freed slave. In that case, Muhammad feared people instead of fearing God, to demolish the marriage. He didn't want it. And he demolished it, and he was commanded by God to take Zainab as a wife, not to let her be sorrowful. All right. Uh, our only course is to obey God rather than men. Yes, that's it. Now let's go to the next sign, which is sign 40. Sign 40. It happens to be the last sign of section 5. Let's go there. وما كان محمد آباء أحد من رجالكم وما كان محمد آباء أحد من رجالكم. Muhammad is not the father of any of your men. Remember earlier, this same Quran says his wives are our mothers. His wives are mothers of believers. But here in this verse, it's the other way around. He is not the father of any of the believers. وَمَا كَانَ مُحَمَّدٌ آبَاءَ أَحَدٍ مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ وَلَكِنَّ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ, but rather a messenger of God. Walakin Rasulullah. But he is in bracket, but the messenger of God. Walakin Rasulullah. Wahatamal Wahatama Ambiyina, and the seal of the prophets. So you always hear Muslims saying that Muhammad is the last prophet. Mm? It's the same thing. The seal of the prophets, the last prophets are the same. So this is reflected in this sign 40 of chapter 33, Surah uh, Ahzab of the Holy Quran. So Muhammad is a prophet. He's not your father's. So sorry, he's not your father. Hmm? Uh, uh, and the seal of the prophets. Hatamal. Oh, where is it? Wahatamal Anbiya. Yeah. Wakana Allahu bikulli shay'in aliman. Wakana Allahu bikulli shay'in aliman. A usual ending to the verses in the Quran, an invocation of God. And God has full knowledge of all things. God has full knowledge of all things. And bikulli in all things. Aliman, full knowledge. The note to read is 3731. 3731. When a document is sealed, we are coming to the seal of the prophets. The commentator is now comparing Muhammad to a document. Hmm? God forgive both of us and the sealing of document. He says, when a document is sealed, it is complete. When a document is sealed, it is complete. Hmm? And there can be no further addition. You write a letter, you seal it, envelope it well, and give it to the courier to take it to the president. Nobody can add anything to it. Hmm? So there can be no further addition, full stop. The Holy Prophet Muhammad closed the long line of messengers, full stop. God's teaching is God's teaching is and will always be continuous, but there has been and will be no prophet, but there and there will be no prophet after Muhammad, full stop. The later ages The later ages will want thinkers and reformers, not prophets. Very good. Hmm? We are told, take note of this, that the later ages will want thinkers and reformers and not prophets. Uh, this is not an arbitrary matter. Full stop. It is a decree full of knowledge and wisdom. Colon. Then, in double inverted commas, for God has full knowledge of all things. Inna Allah bikulli shay'in habiran. Let me see that I quote it well. Sometimes my mouth says something my mind says what not my mind thinks. And God has full knowledge of all things. Wakana Allah bikulli shay'in aliman. And that is this. And we now have ended note 3. No, 37. Oh, where am I? We now have ended note 3731 to sign 40. Sign 40 being the last sign of section 5 of chapter 33 of the Holy Quran. Thank you very much. Ilalaka, Baba, Uruva. May God be with you all till we meet again. And when we come in our next video, we are going to go to section 6. Section 6 begins with sign 41. Uruva, Ilalaka, Bye-bye.